Good evening, folks. Aaron Dorr here. I'm one of the guys helping out Chairman Gowan with the establishment of the New York State Firearms Association. You're going to be hearing a lot more in videos from me over the coming days and weeks and months with the fight for gun rights in New York State. But for today, we've been getting peppered with questions from gun owners, as today is the day of the implementation day of a red flag gun seizures. A lot of questions from gun owners asking us, what does this mean? What does the law actually do? What does the law actually allow for? And what can we do about it? Because it seems from a distance like there's not much that we can do as gun owners, and that's not the case. So we're going to talk about that in this video. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm in my truck right now. I'm in my old truck, and it's kind of shake a little bit, and I kind of apologize in advance for that. But guys, here's what's going on. I'm sure you've seen the news all across the state today, but red flag gun seizure laws take effect today. And of course, we've been seeing all kinds of county DA offices doing press releases on this and press conferences on this. And make no mistake, there's going to be a lot of gun owners who are being targeted by these red flag gun seizures. The bill passed in New York and the bill passed in Albany is one of the worst in the country, if not the worst in the country, as you could imagine, because not only does it allow for police officers and family to file these complaints against you. You could have a complaint filed against you by a medical professional. You could have it filed against you by a teacher. It can be filed by almost anybody who doesn't like you. Almost anybody who's got a grudge against you for your politics. Maybe they don't like the Trump 2020 sticker on the back of your pickup. Maybe they just don't like the fact that you're a proud gun owner who loves this country, who loves our state, and loves our freedom. There's all kinds of ways for this to be abused. And of course, Governor Cuomo, he didn't even try, to pretend there was any due process involved in this, because there's not. At the end of the day, your guns are going to be seized before you've ever been charged with a crime, before you've ever been convicted in court, and because this is done via ex parte hearings, folks, this will happen before you've ever even heard about it. The fight for your gun rights will be won and lost before you've ever even been made aware of it. The first you're going to hear about this is when you have a letter or a knock on your door from the authorities coming to confiscate your firearms. That's it. So that takes effect today. And so we're going to see, I'm sure, DAs across the state beginning to push these very quickly. Insiders tell us there's already a whole bunch of people that they intend to go after. Now, of course, we've seen all these press releases, all these press conferences, all this bullcrap from all these people who are saying, well, this is a great way to stop violent crime, so even gun owners should support this. Folks, don't let these guys bludgeon you at all with that mental BS. They're not going to stop criminals with this. They're not. Gun control always fails. Whether it's background checks, that doesn't stop anybody. Gun-free zones, that doesn't stop anybody. And red flags will be no different. Because if somebody is that bent on carrying out a mass homicide, folks, they're going to get guns somewhere else if their guns have been confiscated. And if they can't find a gun, they're going to find a knife. They're going to find a pickup. They're going to find a box truck. We saw this happen. We see this happening all across the country. All across the country. From the Midwest to New York City, everywhere in between, they use knives. They use rented vehicles, and we're not going to stop that, because at the end of the day, this is a function of evil in someone's heart, evil in someone's brain, and you can't stop that with a gun control bill. All this will do is allow gun owners, innocent gun owners who have been convicted of no crime, to be disarmed. And so that is what the bill does, the law does rather, that's what the law does. And that's how broad it's going to be used, and how bad it can be abused. Now the question is, what can we as gun owners do about this? Well, I'm going to talk about that for a few minutes, because this bill didn't just pass with Cuomo and Senate Democrats in Albany. This bill was voted in favor of by Republicans and Democrats. Gun owners were stabbed in the back, again, the same as in the SAFE Act, by Republicans and Democrats. And the reason for that is that for the longest time now, gun owners are not feared in any capacity in Albany. Nobody is concerned about their re-election chances right now when it comes to gun rights, because for far too long, the current organizations in Albany seem to be far more concerned about petty internal squabbling amongst themselves, or selfies with lawmakers, or just getting their name in the news. Nobody seems to be willing to jump on these gun grabbers at election time, whether it's in our side or the other side, and hold them accountable. And the New York State Firearms Association is different. This is our first video. And I'm telling you right now that this organization is different. We exist to punish lawmakers. We exist. I'm sorry it's so bumpy, guys. My truck is just a bumpy old pickup, and the road here is crap, and I apologize. But we exist to target anti-gun lawmakers at election time and make them pay a price. And here's the thing. Sure, right now, the Senate chamber, they got a big majority. But look, they got that a couple years ago, right? 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. But I'm telling you guys, 2020 is around the corner. It's a national election, and they're at their high water mark now. And you and I, as gun owners, can do an awful lot in 2020 to make these people pay a price at election time. There is a tremendous number of state senators who won their election by 4 or 5%, some even less than that, some 2 or 3%. And these are the same people who voted against our gun rights, okay? And so with 2020 coming along, this is not the same as 2018. This is 2020 with Trump on the top of the ticket. Now, I'm not saying President Trump is perfect. Obviously, when it comes to red flags, he's been talking about these too. What I'm saying is that the election dynamics in 2020 are going to be different, because there's going to be a lot more people turning out to vote. And the New York State Firearms Association will be active in some of these races where we can find the most vulnerable gun grabbers who voted in favor of all this trash this year. All this garbage, from red flag gun seizures to safe storage, and on it goes. And we're going to make them pay a price. And I apologize again for how rough this is, but if these people don't pay a price, it's only going to get worse. And I talk to a lot of gun owners at times, whether it's the Finger Lakes region or Watertown or downstate, whatever, and they're always kind of like, well, I mean, it's what more can they do? And we're screwed, right? What more can we lose for our freedom, folks? These people have no limit to their hatred for our country. We already know how much Governor Cuomo hates our country. He's made that very clear. It never was a great state. I'm gonna try to hold my phone here and try that. Cuomo says it never was a great state, right? So we know how much Cuomo hates our state, how much he hates our country, rather. But these people, when it comes, that's not gonna work either. When it comes to gun control, their appetite for destroying our freedom is limitless. One of the big bills they're going to be pushing for next year is this social media bill. And that would literally require that you surrender social media, control of your social media accounts and your search engines to state authorities who would search that for offensive speech before you can be issued a pistol permit. I'm not making it up. It's a real bill. There are people who are actually talking about that right now. And so there is no limit to where these people are willing to go when it comes to attacking our freedom. But I'm going to tell you right now, there is no limit to where this organization, the New York State Firearms Association, is willing to go when it comes to protecting our gun rights, and specifically going after anti-gun incumbents at election time in their districts. This was a state where just a couple years ago, even Senator Gillibrand had to come out and say that she was pro-gun. Now, we all knew it was a lie, right? We all knew that. But she was concerned enough about gun owners, about the Second Amendment vote, that she had to talk the talk. We still have an army of pro-gun voters all across the state. The problem is that there's been nobody leading this charge. Nobody. And we all know that. The organizations that exist in Albany, you know, the one group has pretty much disappeared from the scene. Everybody knows that. The other group, I don't know what to say. I mean, read their publications, read their emails. I don't see anything from them trying to stop legislation. All we see are selfies and pictures and, you know, good old boys in Albany. That's not enough. We need people who will fight back. We need people who will give us live updates in the Capitol. We need people who will tell us who to call, who to email, and when. And we need people at election time who will be active in vulnerable districts, exposing and punishing these gun grabbers who have voted against our freedom. And this organization is going to do it. Guys, if you want to be involved in this fight, I'd ask you to simply go to join, the link right here on the page. You can go to the website, New York State Firearms Association.org, and get involved, or the link right above, it's a join link. You can go right there and get involved in this organization and take a stand and help us punish these people. They're trying to destroy this great state. They're trying to obliterate what's left of our gun rights, and if we don't fight back, it's only going to get worse. They're not going to give up. They're not going to go away. They're not going to give in. It's up to us to fight back, guys. That's all I have for right now. Go to the link, sign up, become a member today, and post this video on your personal Facebook page. Help it get out there, be seen by more people, and we'll be in touch. Thanks a lot, and have a great afternoon.